Hello, everyone. We are just gonna wait for some folks to join us. I hope you're all having a great afternoon. And if you have any guesses, we can't see the residents that we're in here with, but we're at a new angle. If you have any guesses about where we're at, you can leave your guesses in the comments and see who we're going to be visiting with today. You may have already seen a picture of them in an email that went out announcing our live stream. Hi, Janine. So it looks like we've got a few of our regulars and Sherry rolling in here. It's good to see you all. And I should say, our stars of the show today, I'm having you guess the non-humans who are going to be featured, because we have already announced that it is our animal care director, Kelly Mullins, who's going to be joining us today. And she is on the other side of the camera from me, so I'm going to be panning over to her shortly, but I hope that you are all doing well. And we are announcing today, we're very, very excited that today is the start of our Petunia's Pledge. Oh, Janine has guessed moo, indeed, but I like to remind everyone that they're happy cows, so generally speaking they're quiet, although Blossom's a good complainer. And we'll see if she decides to complain. We do actually have basically two cranky young adult cows that we're visiting with today. We'll see how well they cooperate. Benjamin has thus far today been described as having a look in his eye. So we are visiting with Benjamin and Blossom, our wonderful rescued cow friends. And I am going to be turning the camera over to them shortly. I just want to take a minute to say that if you have not checked out what we've got going on for Petunia's Pledge so far, we did an Instagram Live earlier today announcing the start of Petunia's Pledge with our beloved Heather Decker. And we announced or hinted at the start of Petunia's Pledge last week. So we are going to be doing a month of supporting folks on a journey towards veganism from vegetarianism, or from wherever you are at currently. Anyone can join and participate in Petunia's Pledge. It's going to be very exciting, just a month of us trying to help you get the resources you need to make that transition to veganism, to support all of the wonderful work that we are doing here with our rescued animals. And if you sign up for Petunia's Pledge, it looks like we did leave the link in the comments. If you sign up, you get some fun bonuses. You get added to a Facebook group, if you so choose, where you can get support from others who are taking the pledge, and those of us who are, working here at the sanctuary. Heather is in there kind of managing the group. You get a free virtual cooking class with our beloved chef Linda, as well as a virtual visit with Chef Linda answering any of your questions that you may have about vegan cooking. You get some bonus. I see some naughty cow behavior in the background there. And Mullins, by the way, is between a cow and a fence. Highly not recommended. Hopefully she'll still be there by the time I pan the camera over. We hope. But you also get two virtual sanctuary bonus episodes with me and Lauren, discussion about some of our rescued friends here at the sanctuary. And all month long, we are going to also be doing our regular virtual sanctuary, some novel content for you. So tune in every and Thursday at 1 o'clock. And also, if you sign up for Petunia's Pledge, let me just make sure that I'm getting this right, you get 35% off of all merchandise in our online store, as well as a discount on our Compassionate Cuisine cookbook. So, lots of fun stuff. Signing up is free, and we just want you to take this journey with us. If you have any questions about it, leave it in the comments below. And we're going to turn it over to Mullins now, because just one human and some greenery in the background is not nearly as fun as one human and 2 cows. And Mullins is going to be sharing her story of transitioning to veganism. I like this story. If you have any questions for our animal care director while she chats, leave them in the comments and I will ask them to her for you. And we are going to pan over. Everybody has moved since I had originally set this up. And we are going to flip the camera. Hello, Mullins!
Hello! Hello, everyone! I'm kind of hidden over here behind Blossom. Every time I move, she moves as well because she's loving getting this massage right now. It is a gorgeous day here on October 1st in the Hudson Valley, and I am delighted to be here to chat with everyone and, of course, to introduce you or to reintroduce you to Blossom and Benjamin. I'm trying to stay in here. And how's that? So Benjamin has decided he wants to be a little bit antisocial at the moment. That's okay. We'll let him. He seems to be in a bit of a mood.
Oh.
And a curious mood, let's hope.
Hi, buddy.
Hi, buddy.
Well, you're gonna just getting some real intimate cow nose. Oh, there we go. Can you all see and hear us again? It looks like we had a low connection there. Hopefully we've got you rejoining us. Can you see us? Leave it in the comments if we have returned to your screens.
Come on, baby.
Looks like we might be.
Come on, Benny. Come on, Benny.
Okay, we are back.
All right.
Sorry about that.
And here comes Benjamin back over. Hi, buddy. So Benjamin has quite a look in his eye, and even last night he was a little bit frisky and kicked one of our caregivers. For those of you who aren't familiar with the way cows move, they're surprisingly fast. They kick sideways. They twist and kick. So they can be a little bit unpredictable, especially when you have a young guy like this. And so I'm just going to keep a good eye on him and not get between the two of them, or not get between him and the fence, which I was doing before. So this is kind of a do as I say, not as I do. Excuse me, sir. See what I'm talking about here? So clearly he wants me to continue petting him. All right, tough guy. Okay. Okay, be a good boy. So what we're going to chat about today, and I'm delighted to kind of tell you a little bit about my story of how, you know, I grew up as a kid like most of you in a meat and potato family. And by the time you know, and I loved animals, but by the time I was 19-ish, 18, 19, I was really questioning the consumption of animals. I think I was maybe 19, 20 when I became vegetarian. And I still ate eggs, I still ate cheese, and as I got older, I started to think about and recognize, well, hey, this is not so great with, you know, consuming eggs. If how are the chickens treated? So I stopped eating eggs for quite a while.
Hi, buddy.
Somebody's trying to steal my spotlight. We're fighting for the camera. He's a good boy.
He is.
He's a good, sweet boy. So anyway, I started questioning consumption of eggs, and I had stopped for a long time. And then the something came out and was advertised, cage-free eggs, cage-free. And I was like, wow, that is so great. And I'll tell you what the vision in my head was. I saw beautiful golden fields with trees and sunshine and fresh air, and chickens perched in trees and living kind of a wild life, and then people going around with little baskets and sort of picking the eggs up and bringing them to the store. And that was an incredible misrepresentation by the ad industry, because that's not what the egg industry is. I think many people know that cage-free simply means that their cage is a warehouse as opposed to, you know, a smaller cage and, you know, tens of thousands of birds in there. So I started eating eggs again because I had this illusion that was put out there by the media that the chickens were living these very happy lives. And then I recognized what was happening. I did more research and realized what the reality was. So I stopped eating eggs. And then, maybe like many of you or many people, one of the things that I found very difficult to give up was cheese. And cheese was, you know, kind of my kryptonite. I loved cheese. And I began to research and recognize that the way that animals in the dairy industry are treated is even more cruel than animals in the meat industry, where they're consumed for their flesh. So as I started to recognize this, I said, wait a minute, my values do not match my actions at all. I need to give up cheese. And back in that time, the cheese alternatives that were available tasted like, you know, glue and dirt, and or a few other things that you wouldn't want to eat. And there weren't all these wonderful alternatives that there are now. So I decided, yep, I'm going totally vegan at this point. I had been vegetarian for over, 35 years at that point. So then I gave up cheese. Didn't eat cheese anymore, total vegan. But I would go to, let's say, a party or something where there would be a massive cheese platter, and I would be standing there talking to someone, and I'd be like, oh, I'm vegan, telling people all about veganism, but I only have cheese like if I go to a party. And then I'd be eating cheese. I'd turn around and look, and I'd eaten the whole cheese platter. And suddenly recognized and said to myself, like, what are you doing? Whether I was eating, you know, a cheese platter at a party or at home, it was the same thing. It was continuing to support the industry. So I then became completely vegan. I have not gone back since. No cheese, no dairy, no meat, no fish, no eggs. And it's a whole lot easier than you might think to just decide that you're going to choose compassion over your taste buds and over cruelty. And so, you know, you can take Petunia's pledge as easily as anyone, and you can do it. And certainly now, when I started being a vegetarian some 35 years ago, I mean, I was the freak of the world, because it's very similar to those movies where my grandmother would say, oh, I'll go get you some chicken then, if you don't want to eat meat. And it became, and so now for people, there's so many more options out there, and even in a mainstream grocery store, you can find alternatives. So I would, you know, love to have any questions you guys have, and just have people kind of start thinking about it and take a pledge, even if it's a small one. You don't have to decide that you're going to go all the way and become vegan in 1 minute. Maybe you're vegetarian, maybe you decide you're just going to give up cheese, maybe you're just going to give up eggs. And you know, we're here to help. We want to encourage that because truthfully, it's just a taste. And they are far more important than my taste buds. So, so if you guys have any questions, please feel free. And we can chat about it a little bit more.
And
Kaden, do we have any good questions so far?
we do have a question. I'm going to have Mullins move in front of the cows since they moved out of view.
Yep.
But Heather did note that while you were talking, Mullins, she could hear behind me all the grass being pulled up.
Yep, so if you can see how they, hi sweetheart, if you can see how they eat, they really tear the grass. They have their bottom teeth. They don't have teeth on the top in the front, and so it makes it easy. And they also, when the grass is longer, you can't really see it when the grass is short like this, but they use their tongue almost as a hand, and the tongue will sweep around and grab a bunch of grass and just rip it right out. Oh, does that feel good?
Ooh.
Oh, that feels so good.
Nature's scratching pose.
Oh.
And we did have a question asking what your favorite vegan cheese is, Mullins.
Oh my God, there's a lot of them. The local place that I get vegan pizza from, I don't even know what kind of cheese they use, but it's really good and melty and melts just like cheese. And Miyoko's is incredibly good. Tree line. There's there's a new one out too. What is that one, Kaden? There's a couple of new ones that are out that are so good.
There are many.
Chow is really
delicious.
good. And Chow is an easy one to get just in a mainstream grocery store. Oh, is that a beautiful face or what?
Yes.
Who's the most beautiful face? Who's the most beautiful?
She's just staring at the camera. She's actually being wonderfully cooperative with you. Usually when it's just me and Lauren in here, somebody is a little more like a moo-moo, get out of here.
Well, you know, they all have moods. They're just like us. One of the things I like to do, I don't know if she's receptive, is I love to give massages. And they're just like us as far as that goes. Animals love to get massages. Oh, hello, young man.
But Benjamin
and
is a jealous
so
boy.
It
Ooh.
Hey, buddy.
We do have some folks saying
Pushy.
Dea is much better than it used to be. This is true. And somebody
oh my God,
suggested
that's so true.
BioLife might be one of the ones that you were thinking
Yes,
of.
that's what I was thinking of. That's what I was thinking. It was really good. But back in the day when there was nothing. I mean, I'm serious. Like, it tasted horrible. And now, you know, there's even all of the different types of milks that you can get easily.
Yes. We also had, we have somebody who is a regular viewer who, I don't know if she's in here right now, but Veronica has told me about her line that she's been vegan since before the cheese melted. We are no longer in those days.
We have melty
so there's
cheese.
So much hope.
We have melty cheese. We have different kinds of cheese. It's not just one thing where there's shredded, there's slices, there's blocks. You can get pretty much anything. And it melts. You can use it, you know, just whatever for your lasagna or whatever you're making. It's really good. Well, I guess I'm just not that popular because
they've fully wandered.
They took off.
We can follow them.
We'll make an attempt.
And I think, Mullins, you have a good point in your story that sometimes it's hard to make that initial transition, even though it's in our hearts that we know what we want to be doing for the animals. We know that these calves are separated from their mothers in the dairy industry. We know that we know that eggs really cost chickens ultimately their lives on egg farms. And it's devastating to think about these things, but sometimes it takes a little bit of support. So did you find that there was any social support?
Yeah, and one of the things that happened for me really was visiting this sanctuary in particular a number of years before I started working here, and being with the animals, seeing the animals, petting them, scratching them, looking into their eyes, and that was really a very strong turning point with regard to cheese, because it can feel overwhelming, and when you don't have maybe family support, or you're surrounded with friends who they're going out, and you're going along, and everybody's eating cheese and meat, and so finding a good support is find a vegan friend, or you can check out online our mentor program. You can also contact us if you have thoughts, or you have concerns, or you want even ideas about recipes. We've got Compassionate Cuisine. Everybody can just check out Compassionate Cuisine. You'll find recipes that from everything, and your family will have no idea it's vegan. They'll never even know. And that's really a helpful thing. Another thing that can be really helpful is, like I said, like for me, it was coming and visiting the sanctuary. Visiting sanctuaries always helps, because you're meeting more people who are like-minded. There's also a lot of vegan network groups that you can check out online, check out who's in your area. Sometimes all it takes is, one vegan friend, or even somebody that you don't know in person, but you are just connected with by social media, that you can talk to about it, because it can be a little difficult for some people when they don't have support for it. I do know a lot of people who, in their families, when they're becoming vegan, family members would be, making fun of them, and it made it difficult for them, especially on things like holidays or family events. So having keeping these guys in mind, keeping all of the cows, the millions and billions of animals who suffer, keeping that in the forefront of your mind can be a real motivation, I think. And then when you actually look them in the eyes and you see who they are, you can see that they feel, that they think, that they have friends, they have families, they have moods. When you can see that, and you can stand there in front of them, and you can feel their breath on your face, or even have a cow lick your face, you can never deny again that they are who. They are not a what or an it. And they have feelings. They want to live, and they feel pain. There's support. You can please check in with us. We certainly are happy to answer any questions that you have, or you can email me. Feel free to email Kaden. We're always happy to answer any questions that you have, and just to support any way that we can.
And we do have, we left a note about it in the comments as well. If you join Petunia's Pledge, you take Petunia's Pledge, you get to join our Petunia's Pledge support group in Facebook, essentially. And there are lots of folks there who are taking this journey with you. So you can trade tips and tricks. We have to hope that Looking Blossom in the bum will also carry that she's a who, not a what. And then we did have a question from Loretta coming through.
Okay.
And so thank you for noticing, Loretta. We do have, it is still fly season. Loretta was asking about if there's anything that we could put on the cows to help them with the flies. And we do use fly spray. Could you explain a little bit about that vicious ruminant cycle?
Well, unfortunately, flies are an issue, whether it's for our horses, our chickens, everybody. The flies bug everybody, especially. So we do put fly spray on them. Now there's different brands of fly spray. There's some that are very chemically and outside the gate.
We might be okay if we head towards that pear tree. We're back, folks. So sorry.
So sorry about that. How we doing? Are we back?
We are, yes.
All right. So we had to move away from Benjamin and Blossom. We're over here on the other side of their field right now. As you can see, this is a pear tree. I'll tell you a little bit about that in a second, but just to finish up what I was saying about the flies, we do fly spray the animals, and you will also see other things that we're doing, like if you look at the horses, they have fly masks on that cover their ears as well as their eyes. And so the fly spray does help. There are different kinds that we use to switch it up. I don't think there's anybody's ever found a way to completely keep the flies away from the animals, though. If they did, please let me know. I would love to know how to keep them away completely. So anyway, this is a pear tree. This lovely pear tree drops quite a bit of fruit. You'll notice that we have it fenced off. We actually had to fence that off this year because we don't want Benjamin and Blossom to getting in there and eating all those carbs. Benjamin and Blossom are in this field together because there's not much in here for them to eat. They tend to be, well, they're overweight. And so we need to really be careful on how much they eat, so we want to modify their weight and their diet. But this pear tree also dropped pears on the outside of the fence, and of course our underfoots decided to come along and just gorge themselves on it, including one Bartleby, which many of you may know. Bartleby, one of our free-ranging goats here. He decided to come out, ate so many pears, he actually made himself extremely sick. We had to, oh, tractor's coming by. Hey, it's a sanctuary and we're busy all the time, so machinery's running. So our beloved Bartleby comes back to the barn and he's not feeling so well. He had eaten so many pears that he got bloat, which was incredibly uncomfortable for him. We did have to have an emergency vet visit. He had to have treatment. He was on stall rest because he felt so bad and because he had to have IV fluids because he pretty much had eaten himself into a very dangerous point where he possibly could have died. So as you can see, the pear tree, we've got it pretty well fenced off at this point.
Every morning before we let out our rascally little underfoots, we have to check and make sure that our animal caregivers have gotten out here, have picked up any pears that have fallen on the other side of the fence, and then all of our foots, who you can see grazing out. Generally, where's my finger? Here we go. Grazing out here right now. They are not allowed out until they can't steal any more pears, since Bartleby decided to teach us all quite the lesson. And Veronica, link that Instagram reel in the comments, because I know Bartleby's a star for how much trouble he has truly caused us. He's doing well now, though.
Yep. He's doing very well. He's back to his old self, but you know, we've got to watch him every minute. It's, you know, having underfits is like having, you know, 25 toddlers all in one place. So looks like we're running out of time. Kaden just sort of gave me the signal that we're heading toward the end of our programming today. I have been delighted to come and spend some time with you guys. Please feel free to ask any questions. And please check back in with us, and don't forget, really think about and take Petunia's pledge. We would be delighted to hear from you. And here comes the tractor again.
And we're sorry that the cows decided to, generally I'm going to switch it over. Our cow friends are still behind me right now, so you can see them kind of back there. We do have this tractor coming through. Yes, sorry Sherry, I do indeed wear a watch and I keep track of the time. No, Lauren and I both have a watch, Janine. And mine has a rechargeable battery, so you're always going to be kind of out of luck with me. Sorry about that. But we hope that we'll see you back here on Tuesday. If you can't get enough of us, which I hope that's the case, check us out for our CIS live offerings as well. We'll link that in the comments, because we offer private virtual tours for everyone. If you'd like to sign up for those, that can be for business groups, your corporation, your company, with our barnyard to boardroom option. It can be for field trips, because we're all still often stuck at home and doing some virtual learning, so why not do some virtual learning where we get some secondhand sunshine. And
Good one, Kaden.
And we will be back here, as always, on Tuesday at 1 o'clock. I believe Lauren will be the one who is hosting there. I hope I haven't gotten those numbers mixed up. But either way, Lauren and I will be on either side of the camera and offering you some wonderful new content for the whole month of Petunia's Pledge, covering topics that you might not have seen us talk about here yet. If you have any questions about Petunia's Pledge, questions about the animals, someone who you want to see, leave it in the comments and we will take note and incorporate it into future episodes. We are incredibly, incredibly appreciative of your support. And I also just want to make sure that I give a shout out to the folks who are supporting us with Petunia's Pledge. So we mentioned actually one of them already as one of Mullins' favorite vegan cheeses. So we have Treeline Cheese supporting Petunia's Pledge. They are a local Kingston-based vegan cheese company. I used to work there for one summer. That was the delightful summer of bonus cheese taking home. It was truly magical. And we also are being supported by Riverdale and Vegan Wines. We love these companies. We are so grateful for their support. Check them out. And thanks, Janine. I like this mask as well. It really brings out all of the blues that I've been wearing lately. It's just full-on denim. But yes, have a great day, everyone. Thank you so much for tuning in. We're so appreciative that you all continue to join us. And I hope that we'll see you next week. Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Oh, yeah. Mullins says bye, too.
Bye, everybody. Thank you for joining.